The pure, pressurized carbon. Flawless. Eternal. We build empires on it. We kill for it. We define our entire concept of wealth by it. But step off this rock, and the illusion shatters. Astronomically speaking, you are hoarding common debris.
Carbon is everywhere. It literally rains liquid diamonds on Neptune. Entire exoplanets, like 55 Cancri, are made of the stuff. To the cosmos, a diamond is as boring as a rock.
May you want to know what is actually rare? What an alien civilization would kill for? Wood.
A simple piece of pine requires 3 billion years of evolution. It requires DNA, photosynthesis, a perfectly balanced atmosphere.
To the universe, a diamond is trash. But a stick is a miracle.
And that stick exists because of another statistical glitch. Earth is the only known planet in the universe that burns.
So, what about stars?
Stars fuse. That is plasma. Volcanoes melt. That is magma. But fire? Actual combustion? That is a chemical reaction requiring free oxygen.
And oxygen is highly reactive. It vanishes unless something keeps pumping it out.
Exactly. Life. Without a biosphere actively exhaling oxygen, fire is physically impossible.
Which means we are living on a bomb fuse. The only place in the cosmos where the air is rich enough to keep you alive, but volatile enough to burn you to ash. It isn't just the atmosphere. The ground itself is suspicious. Look at Mars, Venus, Mercury. They are wrapped in basalt. Dead, black lava rock.
But Earth is infested with granite. Granite is lighter. It floats on the mantle. Without that specific geological mistake, driven by water and plate tectonics, we would have no continents. Earth would be a global ocean.
And we think we are the first to master energy. But 2 billion years ago, in Oklo, Gabon, the dirt beneath our feet was splitting atoms.
16 natural nuclear fission reactors, running for hundreds of thousands of years. The uranium-235 concentration had to be exactly 3%. Groundwater had to flow at the exact right rate to moderate the neutrons without shutting the reaction down.
While life was just single-celled slime, the planet was running a nuclear power plant.
But the hardest numbers to ignore are in the sky. The sun emits radiation across the entire spectrum. Gamma, X-ray, ultraviolet.
Deadly frequencies.
Yet our atmosphere acts as a curated filter. It is opaque to the radiation that kills, but perfectly transparent to the exact narrow band of visible light the sun emits most. We aren't just in a safe zone. We are on an observation deck.
And look at what we are observing. The sun is exactly 400 times larger than the moon.
But it is also exactly 400 times further away.
Down to the decimal. They appear identical in size. The moon perfectly blocks the photosphere, revealing the corona. Earth is the only planet where this geometry works. Astronomers call it a happy accident. Engineers call it a calibration.
It isn't just the geometry. The planet actively manages its own settings. Look at the faint young sun paradox.
4 billion years ago, the sun was 30% dimmer. Mathematically, Earth should have been a solid block of ice.
But the geological record proves we had liquid water the entire time. A perfectly timed, self-regulating greenhouse effect kept the planet warm, and then slowly lowered itself as the star grew hotter.
That is not luck. That is a system.
And that system is sealed. 15 kilometers up, there is a layer called the tropopause, the cold trap. On Mars and Venus, UV rays split water molecules. The hydrogen bled out into the void. Their oceans evaporated. But Earth's tropopause is so cold, rising vapor instantly freezes and falls back down.
We aren't just sitting on a wet rock. We are locked inside a sealed container.
A container that was perfectly stocked. To build DNA, you need phosphorus. But across the cosmos, phosphorus is incredibly rare. It is the ultimate bottleneck for life. Yet Earth has an explosive abundance of it, trapped in the crust by a freak chemical accident.
The universe is a graveyard because it simply ran out of fuel. Earth is the only gas station for 1 billion light years.
And we didn't just get fuel. We got deliveries. Heavy metals like gold and platinum should have sunk to the molten core 4 billion years ago. The crust should be empty.
But it isn't. Because the late heavy bombardment hammered the Earth after the crust cooled. Every wedding ring, Every circuit board. None of it is native Earth rock. It is alien debris, dusted onto the planet after the oven was turned off.
Even our orbit is guarded. Without Jupiter acting as a gravitational vacuum cleaner, sweeping up comets and asteroids, Earth would be bombarded every few centuries.
A defensive turret.
And the Moon. It is freakishly large. 1% of Earth's mass. It acts as an anchor. Without it, the planet would tumble. The North Pole would flip to the equator. The climate would be utter chaos.
Wood, fire, granite, nuclear anomalies, perfect eclipses, a self-adjusting thermostat, a sealed atmosphere, dedicated gravitational shields.
Any one of these is a statistical outlier, but all of them together? It stops looking like a random rock. It starts looking like a terrarium. The question is, who is watching it?